Hello and welcome to episode 6 of RomenX Games Let's Play on the Pathfinder mod pack. But I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're watching. If this is your first time watching, there's 5 episodes before this that you can check out as well. I've been doing a bit of stuff off camera. I went and did a load of mining. I moved all the crops from the lower field, as you can see, looking out from my porch here, and I've got them situated over in the new garden area. Geez, look at this apple tree. It is just loaded with apples. I've actually stopped harvesting the apples because I've got so many of them. If you look at my food chest, and I rearrange these a little bit. I got a food chest here. And I mean, look at the apples. They only stack to 16, right? So I've got over 3 stacks of apples. I've got my toast sandwiches. What I really like about the toast sandwiches is, they are the highest yield food that I have at the moment, but they're only like 3 things of food. It takes 2 toasts to make, and the toasts are 2. So you actually would, in the long run, would get more eating 2 toasts, except for the diminishing returns. And plus, you carry a couple of these, just a little tip, and if you're going mining or something, you want to minimize the amount of food you're carrying because you don't have a lot of space to carry stuff. Just make sure that your highest value foods haven't been eaten recently, and then you can bring those with you, and you won't have the diminishing returns on them. So eat some of your other stuff, so that that these haven't been eaten in the last 12, and you'll get more value out of them. Something interesting I discovered. The stone torches from Tinker's Construct. Now, this is probably an oversight, but when you make these, you make a stone rod, and a stone rod is simply 2 pieces of stone or cobblestone, one over the other, and that'll get you some stone rods. Actually, this shows stone given 4. You do it, I don't know why it's not showing the other one. You do it with 2 pieces of cobblestone, you get 2 of these. I guess if you use smooth stone, you get 4. But then a stone tool rod and a coal, well, instead of getting 1 like you would with a stick, you get 4. This is also very handy, even if you're playing another pack where you still get 4 out of wood. You're down in the caves and stuff mining. You don't have any wood, you don't have any sticks, but there's coal you can mine, and you're always going to have cobblestone, and you can just make more torches when you're down there. So that's a really handy little thing to know. And let's see, I've got, so I went mining. I found, not a lot, I found 4-dimensional shards, which I can now mine it up, because my pick got an upgrade. It got durability plus 50%. I think that's the emerald, effectively the emerald upgrade to it. It's now, even though it's only a stone pickaxe, it's actually mining at a redstone level. And remember, this is iguana tinker tweaks that we have in here, which changes the meaning of the mining levels. It's with this mod in, it's the highest level that you can mine. So this means I can mine redstone. Whereas if you're playing like vanilla or something, it's telling you, I guess, what the tool is made of. So I think this would be called a stone pick. And then you got to kind of remember, what does that mean? I can mine. So it's just, I've got more stone torches up here. I have a lot of torches now, which is good. I also found some Teslatite that's from Blue Power. I've never done anything with Blue Power. I don't know, maybe try experimenting a bit in this series and see. I made a few basic gears. I actually got another one over in the over by the smeltery. Real simple, but there's a bunch of machines that need it. It's just 4 cobble, 4 sticks, gets you a basic gear. I made 2 here so I can make a Stirling Generator. We want to start getting some power. A Stirling Generator is not that great. I think that's what's down there at those machines. But it's a simple machine to make. It does have a piston. It needs a piston. So that's redstone. I got some redstone too. I don't know if you noticed it there. I want to show you the farm real quick. I planted some sugarcane. Now, there's two ways to get sugarcane seeds. One is to take 4 sugarcane, in this pack at least. In a 2x2 pattern, you'll get 1 sugarcane seed. And it's going to be, again, your basic seed, 111. You can also get them from crossbreeding, and then the stats on that are going to depend on what the parent stats were. Now I got another crop mutation here with the 2 potatoes. I've got beans. I haven't harvested this yet because I wanted to show you that, but I was going to pick this up. We'll analyze it. Now this is a 111 and this is a 111. So it's, I haven't bred these up. Oh, I'm out of sticks. I haven't bred it up, so I don't have anything better yet for the potatoes, but we'll put another one there. We'll let that one go. Put a double one there as well. We put a double one here, and I was going to try to crossbreed the barley and the wheat, and that's going to hopefully give us rye. Of course, it could give us barley. It could give us wheat, and that's what it did. It gave us wheat seeds. So I'm just going to break that and put another one down. There we go. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Blast. Hold on a second. There we go. I was having some issue with my screen. There we go. Hello? All right. I'm hitting the wrong keys. Sorry. Put that down there. Put that there, and hopefully we'll get some rye. That's what we're looking for. And I got beets growing. That was the one that was between the potatoes and carrots, I believe. Let's analyze this one quick. And you see we got beans, and there's a few things you can make with beans. But that's a 111 because the seeds weren't that great. 333 on the wheat. I don't think it's not as good as what we already have. And I was going to plant these, so I'll plant that there. Oh, I'll plant that there. Can't plant the beans themselves. I have to actually plant the bean seeds. I think actually beans are the seeds. So in real life, what you would actually plant would be the beans. You wouldn't have separate seeds, but hey, it's neither here nor there. All right, so let me. I'll throw those in there for now. And this, by the way, most of these Pam Harvest Craft vegetables are like morsels. So sometimes I'm out in the working in the field, and I've got crops maybe that I'm building them up because I want to do some crossbreeding or something. I want to get them up higher, but sometimes I'll just munch on them while I'm out there, and it's quick and easy food. Plus, it uses up one of those last 12 food slots. So, checking our quest book. We had a quest from last time that we need. Of course, we had to do the rye seeds, so I'm trying to do that. That's this quest down here. We had this quest up. All right, we did the smelter. It's this one here. Wants us to make a stone pickaxe head and a pickaxe head cast. Now, I've already gone ahead and made some. I got some manganese in here. Got some tin there, so I was going to let me just pour the tin out while I talk. I'm going to grab. Let's see. I'm going to grab. I got to make the pickaxe head. Okay, so we come over the part builder. We throw our pattern in here. We get a stone pickaxe head. And this is what I did when I upgraded this tool over here. I'm going to take this out because I have this tendency sometimes to go over and click over there and wind up with 2. So, I had this at full durability. I repaired it. And then, this used to be a wooden one. I put the stone piece on it, the stone pickaxe head on it. And you do that in a tool station or tool forge. The reason that I wouldn't want to just go build a whole new pick is you see I've got a number of modifications that have come on here because we want to tinker tweaks. If we made a new one, it would be starting out with no modifications. And I've got some nice things on here. I got reinforced 2, so that means it doesn't lose durability as quickly, and it has auto repair. So I mean, I was mining with this thing. As long as it's not broken, okay, it will slowly repair its durability back up. It can actually repair its durability back up when it's broken, but it stays broken, so you still have to repair it, even if it's at full durability, if it's listed as broken. So just don't let it break, and it'll eventually repair itself. And I got haste on it too, so and it's mining at the redstone level. So if I was to go make another stone pickaxe, it'd be back at the iron level, and I really don't want that. So now that we have that, before we go and make the cast, we want to make sure that we got the credit. And I think with the HQM book, you have to actually open it. I don't know that you actually have to go to the quest, though I always do to check. But it wants you to, it wants to make sure that you got credit. You want to open a book and check it. And now it wants us to make the cast for it. So we come over to our casting table here. We will right-click that on there. All right. And let's just get that other tin poured out. Now I got manganese in there. I found that. I know we're going to need that soon, so I went and got a bunch of it. At least enough to start. And there's, for some reason, you can't pour blocks of manganese out of the smeltery. I don't know if that's something with the way the pack is set up, or I mean, it's not a common ore, so it's probably just something maybe that wasn't set. But you can pour ingots, so we can make an ingot mold. We can pour it out as ingots. I don't know if you can actually make like manganese tool parts, or what they would do. But we got a bunch of aluminum brass in here, and it's just telling us millibuckets, not telling us ingots. I don't actually remember how much is in there. But now I'll just pour that out. And this doesn't have to be stone. You might be able to use wood. I'm not sure. I could certainly use a metal pickaxe head or something. But it does consume the part. So, stone's cheap, so you typically will use stone. I'll pick that up. Check the quest book. We got credit for it. Now it wants us to do a bronze pickaxe head. Okay, and it tells you bronze in a smeltery is 3 copper and 1 tin. So let's grab and move the book out of there. So I went and got a bunch of copper. You can see I got a lot of stuff, and I've been making some blocks of stuff. And I was also I'm going to put a hopper. I got a hopper under the casting base. I'm going to put one under the table as well, but I figured I'd just show you that. I got some blocks of copper, blocks of tin. But let's just grab some ore. Let's grab 1 copper ore and 3 tin, is it? Or is it? See, I forgot already. It's 1 tin, 3 copper. Okay. Just got to be sure. So there's 3 copper. This is tin. Yeah. 1 tin. You throw them in. Now, when you're putting the different ores in the smelter, you got to be careful of things that make alloys. Let's say I wanted to make something out of copper. I wanted to pour out copper ingots or blocks. I can throw that in there. I can melt it, and then I can pour it. But if I have tin in there, or if I add tin and it mixes, I'm going to wind up with brass. So you got to be careful. I can have iron and copper in there because that doesn't make any alloy. And copper and tin don't make any alloys with the other. So you can see that the tin melted faster. That's typical of tin. It melts much quicker than copper. Copper's almost done. And when that's done, it should turn into molten bronze. Now, later version, the latest versions of tinkers for 1.10 and above, that it takes time. So you'll see it slowly mixing it. Probably a little bit more realistic. But now it wants us to make that pickaxe head out of copper. So I put the cast back on there. If you got different fluids in there, always make sure that the one you want is at the bottom. If you want something different, you click that, it'll move. So we want a bronze one. I thought it was copper for some reason. I guess it was bronze. And there's a bronze pickaxe head. And I'm not going to need that again, so I'm going to take that and store that in the pattern chest. on this version of Tinkers, the pattern chest will hold those. That's not true on 110. And we look at our quest book. Done. Get 2 reward bags. That means we have 2 chances to get fish and dimlets. Like fish and chips. There's one dimlet, feature none. It's not even a good one. I mean, sky body none. Also, I don't really care about sky bodies. Because if you cared what the world looked like, I think this basically means you've got like no moons or a sun in the sky. There are various ones that you can have. But I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to throw it in the chest with the other dimlets. I don't need to carry that around. Now, I don't remember. Let's see. I'm just going to check. I don't know what the mining level. I guess it's bound to be better than the stone one we have. And since my pick is fully repaired, I can. I guess I don't actually have to even do it here, but I will. Now, just put it that way. And now we've got. Oh, okay. So it went from reinforced 2 to reinforced 3. It's still mining at a redstone level. Its attack damage went from +2 to +3. But yeah, I'm not seeing the durability here, but I'm sure the durability has gone up as well. So it has no experience right now. But that might be because we're at master. I think this pack master is the highest it can go. But the problem with that now is it means it's not mining anything higher. I can't mine diamonds with it, for example, and it means I need to have that material with me if I need to repair it when I'm mining. So it's a mixed blessing, I guess, in this case. We still have some bronze left. We could, if we wanted to, upgrade some of the other parts. If we made a bronze handle, durability would go up. It's not going to add more. I think bronze is like reinforced 1, I guess. So that's why we're at reinforced 3. But it doesn't, you're not going to, we'll get more durability out of it. So that might be useful because, we're not going to be mining all the time. So we have more durability. But I can do that later. And I made a gear. Now one of the casts that I want, and before I forget, I'm going to switch this to aluminum brass. You can actually use the smeltery from pouring out your gears. For example, if you need a tin gear, I think it's probably like 4 tin around an iron ingot, a gold one. It's 4 gold around an iron ingot. It uses up some iron. If you pour it from the smeltery, it's just the 4 ingots worth of the type of thing. So it's 4 ingots of tin or 4 ingots of gold. It's not using the iron, so it's a little bit more efficient, and it's kind of easy, I think, to do it this way if you're making a bunch of them. So, but first we need the mold. So that basic gear which I showed you, I'm just going to pour out, and we're going to wind up with a gear mold. Throw that in the pattern chest. Now I shrunk these down, but I did not do this one, and there's a very good reason why I didn't do this one. It's because we're going to need it. And if I use the slab version of this, it's going to make a slab version of a forge, which is what we're trying to make. So we're going to need 3 seared bricks. And I guess basically what you're doing is you're taking this, this wooden tool station, and you're reinforcing it. You're putting some seared brick on top, and you're replacing the legs with iron, or I guess you could use other materials. Now I think for the purposes of the quest, I know it won't take the slab version, and I think it will only recognize the iron one. And we got a lot of iron right now, so I'm not too worried about that. But I don't have a crafting table out here, so we'll run inside real quick. And we'll make this tool forge, because I think we have a quest now that wants that. Where was that? Oh, now it wants a nickel one. I don't think the rest of it's a detection, not a. So I'm going to make the. I think I can safely make this one now. It's not asking for it yet, but it will, and we'll have it. I just don't want to shrink it to a slab yet until we need it. But this will give us the ability to make other tools, more advanced tools. So I'm just going to place that over here for now. And if I open this, you're going to see, there's some other things that are in here that weren't in the other table. Things like the hammer that does a 3x3 area. Okay. Also has smite if you use it as a weapon. High durability. The lumber axe. This would be a really nice one. It'll take down trees in one blow. It says it has a 3x3. I think that's like I think that's the base of the tree. It'll go higher than 3 height. If you have enough durability, it should take out the entire tree for the most part. I know some of the like super tall trees, like if you ever had a mega rubber sapling, you might not take that down. And that'll save us a bunch of time. And we have an excavator, and this does a 3x3 on dirt, sand. I guess it does snow too. I've never actually used it on snow. We wanted a lot of snowballs. And you got a scythe, which is a 3x3 for harvesting plants. I guess it's also as a weapon. It's an area attack on mobs within a small area. Then there's some weapons. It's a cleaver. Now the cleaver has a natural ability of beheading. So if you're killing mobs, you need heads. And then if you get if you're playing without iguana tinker tweaks, I keep saying treats. I don't know why. You can add modifiers to this to increase the beheading abilities of it. It is slow, but it does a lot. Now there's a battle axe, and that has a knockback effect, a 1x9 effect. It can bring down small trees. It's not quite like the lumber axe. They have a bow, a crossbow as the bolts for it, shurikens, which are thrown weapons. And of course, we still have the other tools that we can do, like the shovel and the hammer, and the axe and the mattock, and there's a few swords. We don't really have a need for swords here. My personal favorite is the broadsword. That's usually the one I make. But there's also a long sword and a rapier, and they have their own special abilities, and a dagger, which I guess can also be thrown, a frying pan. This, I believe, can also be used. I guess you can place it down and cook with it or something. I've never used one. I think, and we have a battle sign up in the ship. There's a chisel, but if you're going to be chiseling stuff, the chisel from the chisel mod is actually the one I prefer. I think this only works on blocks in the world. You can't, like, if you're building something, you need a lot of chiseled brick. With the chisel, you can just do it in inventory. And there's the short bow, arrows, throwing knives, javelin. I've never used the javelin, but this allows us to make these other tools, and more importantly, make them with the metal parts and stuff. Although I guess we're able to do the bronze in the regular crafting station, but if you haven't got that ability turned on, I think by default you have to do it in a tool forge or a tool station. And if it's a metal part, it has to be a tool forge. If I had tried to do it in the tool station, the wooden one, I don't think it would have let us. What else do we need to do? Well, let's see how our crops are doing here. Well, the potatoes are growing already. What are we getting here? Oh, we got barley again. Let me grab some more crop sticks. Want to get rye, get that quest complete. Alright. There we go. I guess I can analyze the seed. I don't think it's better than what we already have, though. When you get a new seed between two different parents, it's kind of like an average or half the best stat. So if you've got 2 10 10 10, or it's half the average or something like that, So if both parents are 10, 10, 10, you're going to wind up with a new a plant that's a 5, 5, 5. This one happens to be a 3, 4, 5. That might actually be, in fact, that is better than this one here. Let's plant it here then. That's my 3, 4, 5. Take this out of here. We don't need that in there anymore. I'll analyze it anyway, though. Yeah, see, that's a 2, 2, 3. So we just wound up with a better quality one than what we had been breeding. So that's kind of nice. Even though it doesn't give us the rye that we want. Let's go throw these in the house. So I was going to do a Stirling Generator. Just checking the time. We still have a little bit of time left. And again, the recipes are modified, so this is the standard. I don't think this is the standard recipe. So it calls for, and maybe it is, it calls for 2 basic gears. I've actually already made those. Calls for furnace, we have one of those. Calls for some stone bricks. Now, there's 2 ways, maybe 3, I guess. There's 2 ways you can craft these. One is by taking smooth stone and make a 2x2 pattern, and you'll wind up with 4 of these. We needed 5, so you actually have to do it twice. You can actually use the chisel to chisel smooth stone into stone bricks. That would work, and it doesn't matter if they're cracked or they can even be mossy ones, but they have to be stone bricks of some sort. It won't work. I don't think it'll work with plain stone, and it won't work with cobblestone bricks. But we have the ruin right next to us, and I knew there was some over there. So I just went over there. I grabbed some stone bricks. So we put those like that. Look at that. It's quick and easy. Is the furnace on top or no? Sorry. I gotta make the piston first anyway. Let me just put these down here. Make a piston. I'm sure you know probably how to make a piston, but I don't have one, so I need to make one. So, and for some reason, this just isn't working for me. So it's like, why? I don't understand why it's not working. But we got our iron. Whoops. We got the redstone and iron. And that's planks. Oh, what did I do wrong? Oh, I need cobble, don't I? Yeah, it's cobble. So it's right. It's cobble on the bottoms. And it's stone. And there's our piston. Bang. The piston. And then, no, that's not right. I don't need the pistons on the bottom. I don't need the redstone, or use the redstone. And our wooden gears on the bottom. And then our stone bricks. Where'd you go? They're right here. And there's our Stirling Generator. Now, I wanted this. One of the things we're going to need to do is go up to the ship. We got a quest that needs us to go up there, and I figured, well, we do have that leadstone energy cell there that's got a lot of power in it, but we don't have a generator or anything that's generating power for it. If we keep using it, we'll eventually start going down, and we'll need to be powered up again. And I really don't want the ship running out of power. We have to go up there and do some stuff. Chances are we could probably do a lot of porting around stuff and not have an issue with it for quite a while. But better safe than sorry. The other thing is, if you go to a planet, another dimension that you create, very highly recommend you bring along a source of power and fuel for it. So like maybe one of these and at least a stack of coal or a bunch of blocks of coal, because it'll take blocks of coal, which are more efficient. You effectively get, from using 9 coal, you'd get the energy equivalent of 10 pieces of coal, because it's 10 times what one piece of coal is. And it's also a good idea to bring, as you remember, we came here, there was no dialing device and there was no matter transmitter. So you should probably bring those two things with you as well, because you potentially could wind up in a world where there aren't any trees. In this case, we need wood to make them. I guess you could bring a bunch of wood with you and make them there, but and maybe that'd be a little less inventory space. But if we got bags, it's not a problem. But you can't be assured that there's going to be the materials you need on that other world, and you want to make sure you can get back. You don't want to be stranded there. So it's always a good idea to have that with you. And oh yeah, the one final thing I want to do is make a bag upgrade, because right now this bag isn't really big enough. So we can make the bag upgrade for it. This is why we need some iron, we need some string, and we need some planks. And we happen to have all that, fortunately. That, and that, and that. That gives us the upgrade. And then we just combine that with the bag. And we won't lose stuff that's in it. Now we got a tier 2 bag, which gives us the larger bag size. It's basically the same size as our inventory should be. So it's not as convenient as it's just being able to drop stuff in your inventory, but you open the bag, I guess that's not much different than opening your inventory. So you could kind of think of it as another way of doing it. The other thing is, there's no reason we can't make multiple bags, whether they're, and you have all these different colors. You have 16 different colors each of the bags. Bags are, really easy to make. You just need colored wool though. And, that might mean, dyeing a bunch of wool in order to get, the different colors. But, having different colors, maybe if you're, trying to sort things and say, well, I'm going to put all the ores I mine in one bag, and I'm going to keep, my food and torches, extra torches or ladders or whatever in another bag, and, coal in a third bag or something. You could do that. I mean, you're going to eat up a lot of your inventory slots, so you may go crazy, constantly opening and moving stuff all the time. But, you can do that. The other thing you can do is these bags can go in a chest. So it potentially is a way of, sort of compacting your storage a bit. I might have, I have a lot of coal, and I want to just say, oh, I'll have a bag that's coal. I'll make a black bag, and I'll put coal in it. And I'll make a red bag, and I'll store all my redstone in it, because you will end up, there's a lot of redstone down there. You're going to end up with a lot of redstone. So you can potentially do that rather than having chests spread all over the place. We're in a little tiny house here. I can make iron chests and gold chests if I want, and make them bigger. Eventually, we get down the Project D chain. We'll make you can make an alchemical chest, which they get really large. But it's a way you potentially can compact your storage. The other thing I like, and this is I think I have enough for it. Let's see, knapsack. Alright, you can make a knapsack, and that needs 2 iron tough rods, which we're going to have to pour out. Needs 6 leather. Now we can use either gold or aluminum brass. We don't have an ingot mold yet. However, I conveniently left an extra seared brick over here. And just like we did with the gear, or with the other part for the pickaxe head, we now have a mold for that, and that will let us pour out. We got aluminum brass, so we'll do an ingot of aluminum brass. And I don't know, did I make the iron tough rod yet? No, I made the regular one. Okay, let's quickly make iron tough rod pattern. I don't want it in the pattern chest, thank you. I want it in here. we'll make that. Now this costs the the sort of first tier type things like the pickaxe head and stuff. Those all cost 1. These are as you start getting into the higher end stuff like this one costs 3. The head for the hammer is 3. We need to make 2 of these casts. We need 1 cast. We need to make 2 of the rods. All right. So see there we got our aluminum brass. Now actually, just really quickly, let's throw this hopper down. So come over here. I'm just going to break this. Now the easiest way to get the hopper facing the right way is you need it point at the chest. Now if you already have it down and you have a wrench, you can use a wrench to do it. This is going to be interesting if I can see the. I don't know if I might have to go back one more. All right, that'll make it easy to see. If you're pointing at it, okay, I have to hold shift because it's an inventory. I don't want it to open up. All right, now it'll point at it. Okay, if I put that down before the chest was there, or I was standing above and put it straight down, I think it'll be pointing straight down. If you don't have it facing the right way, you need a wrench. You can use it with a wrench, or just pick it up and point it the right way. And there was an ingot there, right, the aluminum brass ingot we made, and it went in there automatically for us. So that's good. And I guess we need to make the tool rod. I'm going to throw that here for now. Throw the dirt in the ground. Go away. Don't need you. I got too much dirt. And we're going to pour on a mold for this. And we're going to need needs 3, and I need 2 of them. So I actually need 6 ore. I need 3 of these. I should have thought and melted this down already. But that's copper. Wait a minute. That's not what I want. I want iron. No, come back. Looks colors a little bit. You see, there's iron. 1, 2, 3. Throw that in here. And once that's done, we'll be able to get those. Meanwhile, let's I'll get all the other stuff in here. So this is going to be in the center. I've been meaning to make a table. Actually, I have a table. I'll bring that out with me. Oops. I don't know why. Like I got stuck there for a second. Just make regular crafting table from Tinkers. I'm not going to put it connected to the others, because when you do that, it winds up, okay. Ooh, perfect timing. Look at that. All right, let's pour out these 2 rods. And boom, hopper pulls it out. Now, you may not want to do this. You may want to pull them out manually, but if we're making a bunch of ingots, you might want to have them pulled out automatically. You don't need to be doing it. Maybe you don't have the inventory space on you. I don't know. There could be a few reasons why you could. There's a couple ways you can automate it. I mean, you can use item ducts to pull this stuff out. And there we have a knapsack. Now, a knapsack, if we open our inventory and we open the armor tab, you notice you have some things here. One of them is backpack slot. Now, this only works for the knapsack. You can't put this bag in there. See, if I try it, won't go in. See, it just doesn't go in. But the knapsack will sit in there. Now, I close my inventory. Now, when I open it up, I've got a new tab. This is my knapsack tab. Look at that. And we got like a whole inventory there. So, I mean, it's pretty nice. And I can put this bag in there. so if I potentially, if I wanted to, I could fill this whole thing up with bags, and it'll work the other way too. And you can use the knapsack from the inventory. Now, one thing before we go, I want to point out, and again, I have to eat. I haven't hardly done anything. That when you first start the game up, one of the things I've noticed is this tab sometimes won't usually show up for me. And if that's the case, you just have these first two, just take the knapsack out, close the inventory, open it up again, put it back in there, and then next time we open the inventory, this tab should be back. It's a funny little glitch. You haven't lost your stuff. Don't panic. But that's what you do. Okay, very simple. Just it's there. You just don't see the tab. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you like it, please leave a like or a comment. And by all means, subscribe to my channel. I want to know. I'm doing quite a few of these. I'm doing about 2 a day. So you know, things are going along pretty fast. There's a lot of things I want to show. A little later on, you know, I might have to do a lot more work to you know, so episodes might go down to 1 a day. But I hope you enjoy it, and until next time, stay safe.